G'day, legends. G'day, superstars. Final show of the year, J-Dog.
I know.
I'm a little bit torn. Natalie Imbruglia style, I must say. The last show of the year for me and you for 2023, our sixth season on the airwaves. And outside of the 2021 flag, which obviously yours truly is very, very happy about, I would have to say it is probably one of the best grand finals that I've ever seen happen on the weekend between the Collingwood Magpies and the Brisbane Lions. And I'm grateful.
Okay.
Before we get into the nitty-gritty of it all, I want to say congratulations to all the Collingwood supporters out there, Collingwood family, Collingwood members, everybody. Sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, congratulations. I know what the feeling is like. I've been able to share it with you. Jamie hasn't. It's been a long time between drinks with his team.
20 years almost.
20 years. It's almost the same time since Essendon won a final. But it's great to see. It was a massive game. And it's just a really sad time to be rolling out our last episode for the season with the last game of the year. So I think we might need to, funk it up a bit, but it just really, really sort of downs me this episode. There's lots to talk about. We're going to talk about the year, but I'm going to miss you. I'm going to miss you for another 6 months off the airwaves.
Well, we haven't had our AGM, or I've been speaking about it for weeks now. We haven't had our AGM to even discuss next year. If it's even a thing next year. Who knows?
Well, as my wife keeps buying the Tim Tams, we're definitely going to be back on next year. But also, the Treasurer, Tommy Roker, and the Secretary, Carly Keegan, they haven't responded if they're going to be turning up to the AGM either.
Okay.
Until they actually book it, we're not going to be having it. But, my friend, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into the nitty-gritty. Lace out. Last episode of 2023, officially. Great grand final on the weekend. We're going to nitpick literally everything out of it. We want everybody who's on the chat tonight to go absolutely berserk. Ask us any question that you like. We're going to have a look at our highlights for the season, the lowlights for the season, just everything that we enjoyed about season 2023. We're going to have a chat about the game. I'm not going to worry about trades. I'm not going to worry about all that fancy stuff that we normally do because there's too many to talk about. We just want to talk about footy and thank everybody who joins us week in, week out for joining us and just loving it. How good is it? Julio's is on again. He got to see 3 in a row with his Hawthorn football team this year too, so it's great to see him on board. And once again, Chris Pepper might be the host, but I've got the greatest co-host with the most. Look at him. Jaden Stevenson's dad himself. He is my Lance Bass to my Justin Timberlake. He is Tango to my Cash. Great man. How are you? How are you? How are you?
I am very well. I have avoided going the Steel side bottom. I was a bit nervous, made a bit of a bet that if Steel side bottom walks away with the best on, it was coming off. It was coming off. I was going to go the full Steel, and thank God for that not happening. Thank God for Bradley Hill.
Well, thank goodness. Bradley Hill, he was pretty good too. And his cousin Bobby Hill, he was pretty good.
Oh, yes.
Bobby Hill wasn't bad either.
It's Bobby Hill. Thank God for Bobby Hill.
Oh, you must have been watching the news when they interviewed Brad Hill. He almost dropped. Yeah, but I've won 3. So,
wow. Didn't kick 5 though.
Either did Bobby Hill. He kicked 4.
Did he?
Yes.
He didn't kick anything after second quarter.
No. Did you even watch?
No, take the norm off him then. I mean, take it off him.
Oh, no, he played sensational. Listen, it was a great game. And we know the Collingwood Magpies came out on top by 4 points against the Brisbane Lions. J-Dog, I said to you before we got online.
Uh-huh.
And I said, look, I thought it was a really good grand final.
Yeah.
They're saying it's probably one of the best of all time, and not really going that far.
You're a brave man, Peps. Why is that?
I don't think it was the greatest grand final. Look, I'll ask you one question. At any time, did you feel that Collingwood were not going to win it?
Probably not after the second quarter.
Point taken.
Yeah.
At no stage did I think Brisbane were going to win it.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Even when they got that goal with a minute 30 to go with Big Joe Danaher, and we're going to have a chat about him because he was fantastic. But I don't think there was any chance I thought, because Brisbane, funny enough, I remember when I did my pre-game preview, and thank you for everybody who tuned into the pre-game preview I dropped on YouTube. Went gangbusters. So thank you for everybody who liked, subscribed, and everything. But I will say that I just didn't think that they would capitulate in the heat. They look cooked. No pun intended. They looked like they were running in mud at one stage. They just looked sluggish. Collingwood were just running on cloud nine. And it was almost every time Brisbane had to fight for a goal, Collingwood would just get one back.
Mm-hmm.
And everything that I said in relation to Bobby Hill and Elliott and Mychek had to kick 7 between them, I think they got 6 between them. Did Jamie Elliott, he didn't kick one, did he? No. So they got 5 between them. So it was pretty much on par that they had to kick a half-decent score between them to kick them, to beat them. But, you know, the Brisbane forward line did what it had to do. They just got beaten by time.
Hipwood. Non-event again. I hate Hipwood.
Well, I'm getting some stuff coming in off the chat. David Salt, he wants to talk about the goal accuracy, the lack of goal accuracy. Rambo Kafari had his birthday the other week. Happy birthday, Rambo. The other day, the overall day was great. I think, look, if anybody wants to have a night grand final, go watch rugby league. You've got to have the day grand final. Go watch rugby league. Mind you, rugby league was a sensational finish anyway. What a cracking game. I'm not a big fan of the cross country boxing. That is rugby league. Jeez. What a game. What a finish.
Bad weekend for Brisbane.
Oh, interesting stat about that too. I will throw out very, very shortly. But he said just got the day rolling as well too. And I think they did, actually the AFL looked like they got their pre-game pretty much right. Considering they only had, a month and a half to get it right. It just goes to show, if you can put on a band, makeup, and kids in makeup, anything works. They could have the wiggles in makeup and lots of little wiggles, it would work.
Okay.
Maybe.
So, where do you want to go first, Peps? What do you want to do? Do you want to just talk about the day, or do you want to talk about? You want to do the usual 3, 2, 1? What would you like to do?
Well, I'd like to start off with a bit of
3 votes.
I'm going to give the 3 votes because I just loved the whole day. Grand final day, it should be a public holiday. Well, we already get a public holiday, but we should have the Saturday being a public holiday as well too. You should not have to do anything on grand final day. Went over to one of my mates' houses, kicked back, smoked some pork, brioche rolls, barbecue sauce, watched the footy, had a couple of hard solos. What a way to spend the day and watch a pretty good game of footy as well too. I just love grand final day. It's the day where you can just watch footy, and all you want is a good game. And we got a good game, and I just loved it. I will say, Kiss, I think they did a pretty good job. They did get it rolling. Like that's it. They played 3 songs. They're 70-year-old. They've been playing for 50 years. They know how to work the crowd, and they did what they had to do. You can have G-Flop or G-Flip or that other guy that they had a couple of years ago, Baker Boy. You can have all that new school crap. Give me old school any day, and it will win the fans over. So,
can I just say, Peps?
Yep.
I was a little bit concerned for the old Kiss boys. 30 degrees in the sun in all that makeup and clothing. I was a little concerned.
I was waiting for the
old melt or just
a little bit like
coronaries.
Raiders of the Lost Ark. There's all the I reckon that's what one stage will put.
Plus the fire around them, Peps. That's an added extra little 10-degree kick.
On a 29-degree day as well.
Good on them.
Wow. Stamina. Oh, it's all the disco.
That's what the 70s do to you. Just hard drop with a bit of cocaine and other things. Other things and all those women that Gene hard enough for today. That's what he was preparing for. Harding up for the grand final. So I thought that was magnificent. I thought from a game perspective, can't fault it. But one thing I will fault, and I'm going straight to this. I am going I'm going straight to it. Okay.
I'm going straight to it.
Haley off, Ellingworth on. Bloody weakest piss.
All right. Can I get it out of the way now?
Go on.
I love the little medal presentations. I love when the kids roll up and they give the medal over to the players, etc. But Channel 7, you give me the shits when you mic up the little kids and you manufacture niceness. They did it twice. They did it once for Darcy Moore and they did the other one for Nick Dacos, where the little kid walks up and goes, "Congratulations on your game, Mr. Dacos." And he said, "Fantastic. You to be really proud." And I'm like, why? And you could see, I said, this kid's mic'd up. And he had the little thing on his neck. No one else had it except for the one who gave from Badar. And it's just forced.
Okay.
Can't stand that. I just don't like
MasterChef.
Well, yeah. You know what? Do it for all the players. Or don't you have enough microphones in your budget for all 23 players? Like, do it for every single one of them. Like, "Mr. Ginnivan, are you going to take a dive for your medal?" Like that. "And Mr. Cox, are you a big wanker like all of the ones out of the USA?" Like that. You know, I'd love to see that. And, you know, "Mr. Tagawi, how many lines of coke are you going to be doing tonight when you win the grand final?" Like all that sort of stuff. I want to hear that banter between them as well too. Like I want to hear a bit of that.
Can I have a confession since our last show of the year?
Yep.
I don't watch any of that shit. I turn it straight off. I can't be bothered.
Yep.
The game's done. I watched the old Normie.
Yep.
It's off after that.
Yep. So that was the first thing that annoyed me. Second of all, is it that hard to know that when Kiss play, the dude's going to smash a guitar? How could you miss that?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Did they? No,
I don't know that.
Well,
I've never been to a Kiss show.
Yep.
The 3 songs they sang.
Yep.
I Was Made for Loving You.
Yep.
What's the other one?
Rock and
What
roll.
do they sing?
Night.
What was it?
Rock and roll all night.
Oh yeah, I know that song. What's the other song they sing?
Detroit Rock City.
No, I don't know that song at all.
Oh, got to watch the movie.
That's why I don't like. I wouldn't know it.
Yep.
I had no idea they smashed guitars at the end of the show. I didn't know that the big dude with the big hair and the tongue.
Gene.
I didn't know that he wasn't the singer.
Yeah, he sings
The Pussycat guy is the other guy's a singer.
Chris, yeah, but he sings Beth. Just don't talk about Kiss if you don't know them. All right. So
that's the problem, Peps. I'm saying I'm trying to defend Channel 7 here.
No, everybody else knows it, right? So just except you, Grandpa. All right. All right. So that's the other thing. So there was that. There was those two things.
Okay. That's a third thing.
There's got to be another one. What was it? There was another thing. Oh, just I don't like it when the reporters get in the players' faces like 2 minutes after they've won the grand. "How you going, Nick Dacos? Congratulations for winning the grand final. How you feeling right now?"
Oh, were the kids interviewing him, were they?
Oh, well, yeah, because, that was my Abby Holmes in person. That hits me as well. Just let them celebrate. Let the story evolve organically.
Peps, you've got one voice, Peps. You got one voice to do all your impersonations.
Hi, Nick Dacos. It's Abby Holmes. Looking amazing. Who are you wearing?
Do your Daisy Thomas one. That's pretty funny.
The Daisy Thomas one.
Hi, everybody.
Don't do Daisy Thomas, you idiot.
Nah, it just I don't like the fluffiness. Like it's just a little bit too thick.
Okay, so you want it just for the players who've won the grand final, bigger lifetime achievement. Let them have 10 minutes for themselves, high fives,
and just
drop a couple of F-bombs.
Oh, let them just. Yes, exactly. Just let them be themselves. Like, it just annoys me. Oh, and the other thing, you would have thought that Peter Dacos and Peter Moore were actually playing in the game all week themselves because the amount of interviews those two had, like, it's about the players. They've had their chance, all right? Oh, and halftime entertainment, Donna J, my God.
I'm just going to turn this off.
Oh.
It's the Peps grand final rant show.
Well, that was shithouse. Like, you go from chocolates to boiled. They needed a shot of Viagra. Those singers, they'd harden up. Absolute joke.
All right.
Anyway, it was good.
You've woken me up. All right.
Woken you up. All right.
It's now time for my rant.
Hold on. Before you do that, a couple of things that have been coming in.
Okay.
Chat. Staged. Oh my God, Chris. Tommy Roker. Sack Ken. Tommy Roker. Sack Grandad. Collingwood are winning. Annoyed me. Donna J. Tommy Roker, sack Dimmer. Shut up, Tom.
Tom's on the cans.
Clarko. Halftime entertainment. Yuck. It was like a funeral, according to Donna J. Yes, it was. And Rambo, thoughts on the medals for non-participating players in a winning team? Oh, good question,
Coming up
Rambo.
later. It's coming up later.
Rambo, that is coming up later, so stay tuned. All right, Sackgill McLaughlin. He's had a bigger going away than John Farnham. Oh, Christ almighty.
All right, my turn.
Go for it. What do you want? Votes or?
No, we're gonna. You've introduced it. We're just gonna do like the day now. You've already done it, so we've started there. Peps. Pre-game.
Yep.
Couple of points.
Yep.
Didn't rate Kiss that much, to be honest with you. They were all right. Didn't rate it that much. Another pre-game thing. Up there, Kazali. I think it's time to retire that. I think we're done with it.
Emotional damage.
Mike Brady, he had the Dodo ad. That's it.
Just time to retire it. It's done. It's overdone. It's death. Number 3.
Yeah.
Halftime show. I know what you mean, entertainment.
Yeah.
Halftime show. It's time to retire Holy Grail or anything Mark Seymour does.
Oh,
Do not speak to me like that.
it was.
It's time to retire the Holy Grail in any sporting precinct. It goes there with horses at the races. Anything like that just needs to be done. It is peak bogan, and not good bogan. Bogan.
What's worse? Listeners, I want this in the chat. Do you think what's more bogan? Up there, Kazali? Or Aussie?
It's just, the entertainment is so. Kiss, I'm going to say, okay, I will admit this. Kiss sounded like a better option to me than boring Crowded House. Boring. You wanted Crowded House as your entertainment? Mark Seymour gave you what that was going to be like, an absolute funeral.
Nah.
Like, Better Be Home Soon as a grand final rev-up song? Or I Was Made for Loving You with fire flames and shit going on?
Oh, it's a snooze fest. And everybody, and I'm telling you now, I know Craigie Wessels in the US will be going, tell me about this band called Crowded House, Peps. They sound awesome. Craig, it's funeral. Go into an elevator. Go to level 9 and everything in between, Crowded House.
They're not bad Kiwi blokes. They're just not my cup of tea for a grand final. Anyway, also,
Dave Dobbin.
We need.
Yep.
So here's my solution, because I'm sick of Peps. People want to come up with they're annoyed with the word, but they never come up with solutions. We need to start bringing in events before grand final. I love the Colgate Sprint. That should be a feature.
But they don't show it.
I know. But they do show us on Fox Footy the kick over the Yarra. Bring that into the MCG.
Yeah, bring the Yarra into the MCG.
Bring something into it.
Herald Sun Super Boot.
Let's bring something into the game. Let's have most accurate kick. Let's have something like that, like they do for the NFL. They have a bit of a thing for the fans.
They don't do that during the Super Bowl.
No, but they bring in, like, they have events like that for, like, who's the most accurate quarterback over the 10-second hit these targets. Da, 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 da. I'd love something like that. Bring it in.
Yeah.
Surely.
I just see Fox Footy do their coverage so much better than Channel 7.
Well,
I love kicking over the kicking over the Yarra. I love this. My wife was sitting there going, "Oh, Fev." Like that's ground.
I've got it.
What?
Sharon's over the stands.
What? Billy Brownless over the silo style.
That should be a thing. Every player, you pick one nomination from each team, and whoever lands it on the roof, tick. That's one competition. You've got the Colgate Sprint. That's another competition. Start bringing in events like that.
No, I think that they should.
Who can hit Spider Cam?
Or who can Spider Cam hit? Cricket. Yeah, no, there's shit options. Like
a 400-meter sprint around the track. Get a little temporary track put down. Have a sprint.
But Rottweiler's chasing them.
Do something.
Yeah,
just something.
Yeah, it's not the Little Athletics Carnival.
I know, but you want to have something there for all the fans, and people don't want to see 70-year-old dudes on stage. Or, what's her name? The girl from Frankston, Dance Monkey Girl. What's her name?
Oh, Tones and I.
Yeah, Tones and I, or the other one, I just said last week, Baker Boy or whatever it was. No,
I don't want that.
no want that.
You know they need. You know who they need?
Who do you need?
Who we saw in concert.
That would be interesting.
You imagine Steel Panther, and then a concert afterwards.
That's a nighttime show thing. Yeah.
Nighttime, with I had 21 girls in a row last night. Could you imagine that with all the players? That'd be awesome.
All right.
Anyway, and that chick, what's her name? Who sang the national anthem? Like she did really well, and then she had to put her exclamation mark of "Wah!" at the end. Off note. And then she tried to sing, I think it was the Holy Grail or whatever it is, in operatic. Killed it. Like, seriously, it was a funeral.
Kate Miller-Heidke, her name is Peps.
Oh,
she was also Australia's nomination to Eurovision.
Oh, I think they were hoping she didn't come back.
Got stuck on a Qantas plane somewhere.
Yep, just left it. Just don't come back. Absolutely. Kate Miller-Heidke.
No, Heidke. Don't pronounce the D.
Tom Roker says Kate Miller-Heidke is a Queenslander. Well, that just explains it all. All right. Anyway, from a game perspective, Bobby Hill loved it. Like he was the difference maker in that first half. But like I said, I didn't really feel that Brisbane were going to overtake it. That run in that second quarter, I will say, 11 goals kicked in a quarter. Like some grand finals, we're lucky to get 11 goals kicked in at half, let alone 3 quarters. That was electric. Brisbane kicking 5 in a row. It just, when they're on song, they are on song. But they just couldn't get that extra. And the thing is that I think Collingwood kept it close with their bad kicking. Like it was
Shocking kicking.
Shocking kicking. We're kicking 18 points. They kick another 3 of those, and the game's over by 3/4 time.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, they kicked
It was
5 behind in the second quarter.
Yeah. But sometimes I can't even read that one. Is it in the last one? I can't read that. Tommy's last comment. I can't go it. I can't read it. Maybe I'll just show it. Yeah. That's Tommy Roker at his finest, everybody. Just saying maybe more clubs should geld their lazy small forward. Not exactly PC TR, but what do we expect? Probably
so, first quarter, Peps.
Yep.
Collingwood got away to a sensational start.
They did. It was quick.
Putting on 2 quick ones. And by the end of the first quarter, Brisbane pegged it back. They got it back, and they ended up going into that first quarter break with a couple of points. Actually, no, that's not right. They ended up going down by 10 points. Yeah, sorry. There's a bit of a... So that was 1 lead change, 1 there, and got it back, so that's 2. Yeah.
But you know what the thing is, though, Jamie? Nick Dacos's first goal ducked into it. And they were getting paid. Some of them were getting paid and they were ducking into tackles or leaning into tackles. And there were other legit ones just being completely missed.
That is true.
Completely missed. And there was players getting heads ripped off. If I could play to Barassi again, and I forgot to mention this one, the standard of the umpiring during this final series has been pathetic. They do not umpire games like this during the season, but for whatever reason, they just pull the whistle away. People think it's a great spectacle, but it's been absolutely bullshit. The way that they've been umpiring, they've just been letting too many main things slip, and it's disgraceful. It's almost like Tommy Roker has just said. It's almost like one umpire is waiting for the other umpire to call it. And the amount of 2 highs that are being paid, and they're not shrugging ones, they're actually legit highs. For a business that's supposed to be watching about the person's head, they're not doing a very good job of it at all.
True. All right. So, first quarter, Peps.
Yep.
Magpies finished very strongly with the last couple of goals of that quarter. They finished that quarter with the last 7 inside 50s, and they won the inside 50 count by 12. So not bad, and that was Brisbane's worst first quarter inside 50 count that they had. Second worst inside 50 count they had for that season. So signs were not looking good early for Brisbane, with Collingwood dominating the forward 50, and that trend did continue for the game. So let's kick into the second quarter. Peps, what did you like? What did you see in the second quarter? Anything Did it tighten up a little bit from your perspective?
I just loved the run of goals. It was just goal after goal after goal. When one team kicks 5 goals 5 and the other one kicks 6 goals 3, that's a belter of any quarter of football, let alone the grand final. But I think just some of the goals that I saw being kicked were immense. Like De Goey after the siren. Who was the other one after the siren? There were 2 of them. Forgot the first one.
For
We'll get to it in a minute.
Yeah.
The first one was after the siren. Second one after the siren. Like big, long pump. Oh, Crisp. Sorry, Crisp was the other one. But then that goal that I forgot his name. Where's number 33? Jared Berry.
Bo McCreary? No, he's not that.
No. I had it in my mind. The goal that on the boundary that he kicked where he was 2-on-1, kept it in.
Oh, Brisbane.
Shimmy, and then just absolutely slotted it.
Yeah, that was Lincoln McCarthy.
No, not Lincoln McCarthy. Mind you, did he have the game of his lifetime?
Zach Bailey?
Zach Bailey's goal. Like he was Normie at one stage. He was
looking good.
He was storming Norman. But that goal was just freakazoid. And then you see De Goey's later on last quarter, the big long bomb, side bottoms long bomb. There was goals being pinged from everywhere. And look, that's what an exciting final is big goals in front of a big crowd up. 100,024 people in the ground. Look, that if you want to show people what a great game of footy is and what our game is all about, you show them that second quarter because it was just helter-skelter. It was a corker. It was that was probably one of the best quarters of football I have seen in. Being very biased when I say this, but the third quarter of the 2021 grand final.
Okay.
When the Doggies got up by 16 points.
And Bont started ripping it apart, yeah.
And then Melbourne went bang, 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 and just like that's what you want to see. You want to see the ebbs and flows. And that quarter had it all.
Yeah.
Kitty Coleman was awesome down back.
Oh. He's in my notes. He got going in that second quarter. 22 disposals in the first half at 82% efficiency.
That like he was Crisp was playing some sensational footy.
2 goals on behind. Yeah.
Bottom was doing his, but Pendlebury we'll get to a little bit later on. Even Billy Frampton, which we thought that he got the Leon Davis medal for the worst on ground, but then when you look at what his job was to do was to stop Harris Andrews, he was doing that. Andrews was non-existent for that first half.
Yep.
So there's that. It was just like I said, it was probably the best quarter of football. Nick Dacos was raking it up. Neil was getting a bit of it. Dunkley was getting a bit of it, but they weren't really dominating. I thought it was a lot of their Charlie Cameron was starting to turn it on. Danaher had like hands, couldn't drop a thing in that first half. So it was almost the only thing keeping Brisbane in it was Coleman coming off halfback, McCluggage on the wing, you'd pretty much say, and the half forwards of Brisbane, McCarthy, Berry, Zach Bailey. That was what was keeping Brisbane in the game, and then obviously Danaher. So I think the forward side of things was making up for a bit of the domination by Collingwood in the middle of the ground.
Yeah. And I think when you're watching that, we're talking about this. We're talking about the third quarter now.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah,
cool. All right. So third quarter, it started to feel like it was Collingwood's game to lose from there. Did you get that sense?
Yeah, and that's what I said. Like when it got to halftime, if De Goey doesn't kick that goal after halftime, I think he was the one who kicked it at halftime. If he does not kick that, scores are pretty much tied. They're up by a point. And then you think. But I think it was like I said, every time Brisbane got a little bit further in front.
Oh, you're talking about Jack Crisp's goal at the end of the second quarter.
Well, Jack Crisp, sorry. I'm getting them around the wrong way. I was thinking 3 hard solos down by that stage. And
they're pretty good, aren't they?
They're not bad. But every time Brisbane looked like they were going to get in front and hold, Collingwood just went straight away.
Yeah.
They were really working for their goals. And you just thought that they just can't take a trick. Not take a trick, but Collingwood are going at 70%. Brisbane were going at 100%. And there was just something left in Collingwood. They looked like they had more in the tank, whether it was fitness. I thought the heat was going to play a factor. It looked like it hurt Brisbane more. And so you go from a free-flowing quarter of football where you're getting 11 goals kicked to 3 goals being kicked.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I think perhaps you nailed it as well. Collingwood in that third quarter had gone in at the 23-minute mark of the game, had gone into the forward 50 and scored 6 out of their 8 entries in that quarter. Mm-hmm. The thing that cost them was just that accuracy. Like all those 6 scoring shots were behind at one stage. It went behind. Like Bobby Hill kicked it behind. Mason Cox kicked it behind. Who else was there? There was Jack Ginnivan got it behind. Brayden Maynard got it behind.
It was like that third quarter, pressure starting to build. And what it felt for me, it felt like me watching the game against Collingwood and the game against Carlton this year in the finals for Melbourne, where they were kicking themselves out of victory.
Yeah.
And you're sitting back going, they're not going to do a Melbourne, are they? Thank goodness that the other team just couldn't kick enough.
Correct. That's right. And that's the thing. Brisbane went into, had generated 3 scores from 5 inside 50s and they kicked 2-1 to 13. So they weren't getting, when they were going into the 50, they were pretty effective, pretty efficient, but they couldn't get it into their 50 enough. But also Collingwood were not kicking the scores that they should have been kicking. But the positive for that third quarter for them was Collingwood did lead that tackle count by 10 for that quarter and 12 overall for the match at that point. And one of your favourites, Peps, your mate Mr. Seagull, Tom Mitchell.
Oh, don't get me started because I'm eating humble pie.
10 tackles by the third quarter.
Yeah. He was brilliant.
Around the pack, he was amazing.
You know, some players are all sizzle, but there's others that are just steak. And he is steak. He's the in and under. He gets it out in. Do you remember when we spoke about it? And you probably would have heard. If you heard my Collingwood season preview with the guys from the Collingwood podcast earlier this year, they first of all said that they're not even going to make finals. They also said that their recruiting was shithouse. And you look back and go, who did they pick up? They picked up a small forward. They picked up a centre-half forward. And they picked up an extractor.
Yep.
And all of those played their part in the finals except for, obviously, Dan McStay getting injured. It just goes to show you don't need – if you can strategically pick people out of clubs, you can do a lot in a very short amount of time.
Yep.
But
top up.
13 goals, 8. In most weeks, you're going to win games. Except the other team kicked 12 goals, 18.
Yeah, and I think the most ominous thing when the third quarter siren sounded was Collingwood had not lost a game from that position. When they've gone in, they've won all 15 games and they've been in the front at third quarter time. And Brisbane had lost all 5 when they have trailed the last change.
Yeah, so that's a tough one to swallow. It is a real tough one to swallow. And
the big one there as well, the Magpies had been way better in that time. The last 5 minutes of the quarter, they'd kicked 48 points in time on versus 14 points in total for Brisbane at the third quarter mark.
Yep. If you go and have a look at the statistics across the games, like we're not very statistically driven. We're very from a visual perspective. But if you go and have a look at the disposal count, inside 50 count, disposal efficiency, Collingwood smashed Brisbane across that whole metric right there.
Yeah.
Their efficiency inside 50 beat them across that as well too. That's one thing that Collingwood do that a lot of other clubs need to really have a good hard think about is their efficiency inside 50. Collingwood don't take it in there a lot. I think they're one of the lowest, in my pre-game sort of review of them. They are one of the lowest inside 50 teams, but their efficiency is off the charts.
Yeah.
I think they're about 16th inside 50 numbers, but the efficiency is sitting, I think, at number 1. Like they just, every time it goes in, they score and they score pretty heavily as well too. But they won everything. I thought Oscar McInerney in the ruck was brilliant.
Absolutely.
Cox actually rucked better than Cameron.
I agree.
They as well too. But Brisbane won the clearances, centre clearances and stoppage clearances. So it was almost they were able to get their hands on the ball first. But it was the next one after that they were getting caught out. And it was almost Collingwood saying, you can have the one, at the coalface. We'll have the one which extracts out after that as well too. So But they won the contested possessions across was even. But Collingwood, just their run and gun of the way they play was probably just better suited to the day. And yeah,
it doesn't hurt when your small forward kicks. 4-1, 4-2, or it was
4-2, whatever, and then takes an absolute specky into the sun. He had the sun in his eyes.
Does not hurt at all, and especially when your other tall forward in Brisbane, Mr. E. Hipwood, having a Billy Frampton-esque game.
Oh no, at least Billy Frampton stopped his opponent. When you're a decoy is you're a planned distraction. He's not a decoy. He just didn't turn up at all. But Joe Gavin was great, and we'll get into that last. But that last quarter, it was a little bit of back and forth.
Let's play. Would you have, if Brisbane had won, would you have given the norm to Kitty Coleman?
I probably would have. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, how much did they win by? This is the question. How much would they have won by?
Well, I can only talk about from a statistic point of view, but Kitty Coleman was the most effective across the ground. Okay. Fantasy points.
Okay. True. But what I would I thought he was great off halfback, but not.
He was driving it hard,
but he wasn't damaging.
He did a couple of good link ups through the middle there to kick into the forwards.
Couple, true, but he wasn't damaging. Bobby Hill kicks 4 and basically sets the game up.
Correct.
He said his best game ever. Like, you've got to sort of put things in perspective.
Mitchell has best game ever for a very, very long time.
Oh, yeah. Like, he's probably gone. Peps, I'm going to show you who the real number 6 is. Right up.
Can we talk about vintage?
Yeah, can we? Do we have to, please? Grange.
Apparently, this guy used to play basketball.
Oh.
Do you know him as this kid called Scott Pendlebury?
Does he wear 10?
No, he wears 10.
Oh, yeah. He looks like he can play a bit of basketball.
Not bad from the old brigade here. I'll just quickly read them out. Still side bottom. He's probably 32, 33. Almost cracked 100 fantasy points. Jeremy Howe, 99. Pendles, 102.
Yeah. Pendlebury and side bottom, yes. Howe didn't really stand out as much as people have probably said. But that goal by side bottom, like from 55, no one would have thought he could have kicked from 55. I think he's kicked 5 goals out in his whole career outside of 50.
Game winner.
That
in
was
the third quarter.
You know what that's like, J-Dog? If you're expecting me on the 18th tee in a game of 4-ball best ball to drive it straight down the middle, anybody who's playing with me would go, no chance.
I want a 300 yard, please. I want a 285 carry.
Oh, and I'm on the green in 1. Like, it's just not going to happen ever. And when I say on the green in 1, the green we're supposed to be playing on, not the one that's to the right. Like that's how, as Hoyne would say, it was pure.
It also, like, I know they're coming from a losing team here, but also, like, Dane Zorka had a pretty good game, I thought.
Yeah.
Dunks had a pretty good game.
Yeah, but no one really dominated. Like
no.
He got it a bit, but didn't. And that's the thing. McCluggage, I think, was their best midfielder.
Comfortably.
I thought Oscar McInerney battled all day, considering he had to go against Cameron and Cox.
I thought Big O probably had his moments where's better.
Said, who's going to have the better day from a midfield perspective? I would have gone Brisbane every day of the week. And I think that's where they lost the game.
Yeah.
I think that's where they lost the game. Which
they just had some really poor performance from players that you wouldn't have thought. Like, you know, Darcy Gard had a bit of a stinker. Berry had a bit of a stinker. McCarthy had a bit of a stinker. Charlie Cameron.
I thought Lincoln McCarthy was pretty good for what he had to do. Like, I think he kicked 2.
He kicked 2-1. Charlie Cameron kicked his 3 goals.
Yeah. If you have a look at the forwards, Danaher kicked 3. Bailey kicked 2. I'll double check. Danaher kicked 3. Lincoln McCarthy kicks 2. So from their forwards perspective, they had a really good spread. Cam Rayner didn't do anything. Robertson,
can I ask this question then, Peps?
Nothing. Hipwood did nothing.
This question here then, Peps.
Yep.
Charlie Cameron and Bobby Hill both play forward pocket, well, in the forward line.
Mm-hmm.
Did Charlie Cameron have a standard forward pocket game, or did Bobby Hill just have an exceptional forward pocket game? Because one is very, very different to what the other one was doing.
I think Charlie Cameron had a Charlie Cameron game.
Yep.
And I think one played out of his skin.
Okay. That's fair.
And I mean that because I think Bobby Hill's, like, you look at him and go, if you told me at the start of the day, once again, Cameron's going to kick 3, I'd go, yep, I expect
Good result.
I expect that. If you told me that Bobby Hill kicks 4 in a half, I'd be going, where's my Ned's account? Because I'd have to, he was exceptional. He rose.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to play another good game again. He's like Tom Boyd in 2016. He doesn't have to play another good game ever again in his entire career.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Because he played the game of his life that day and got the doggies a flag. And no one's going to take that away from bouncing Bobby Hill.
No.
It's a sexy name, Bobby Hill.
All right.
You know what Bobby Hill reminds me of?
What?
The Bobby Hill Show. Bobby Hill.
The first quarter was like that for Bobby Hill. He was making him look stupid.
Oh, who's on Bobby? Who's on Bobby?
All right. What questions are people coming through with the questions, comments from the...
It's some really good ones. There's one that I'll get onto very, very... Actually, let's do the first. Let's get them as they were coming in. First question. Now, this one came in from Rambo, Rick Kafari. Thoughts on medals for non-participating players in a winning team? Thoughts? I'll start with you, J-Dog.
I think it should go to players of the season.
Okay. So players, what do you mean? No, just the players who played on the day?
No. So the players who had played through the season.
Yeah.
It's a team game.
Okay. So I've always been that best 22, best 23, etc. The issue, though, now is that there's things outside of the player's control which could take that off them. Concussion, an innocent tackle.
Yep.
Could take that away from them. Now, you have a look at someone like John Noble, played every game this year except finals.
Yeah.
Just deserves recognition for him being there. So he's had more to do with them getting there than Jack Inovan. Right? Taylor Adams, Dan McDermott.
That's the big one. Yep.
So you look at those, that there is definitely some merit there. Now, whether it's maybe a premiership medal, maybe it's just something different that we do. And I think it's because the NFL, they give literally everybody in the organization gets a ring.
Yeah, everyone.
The NBA, I think it's the same type of thing as well too, but not every player gets on the court.
Yeah, I think baseball give it to everyone, like scouts, recruiters, like everyone.
All that, something very similar as well too. So I think, especially now that we're resting players may not get a game because of strategy makeup, etc. I think there's definitely some merit in there. But I'm an advocate that you have to have played a game to get one. So it just has to be one game to get one. But then do you give them to the assistant coaches? Because if the coach is going to get one and the assistants, the amount of work that they do to get the players ripe and ready, does it go that far? Does it go to the strength and conditioning team? Does it go to... So I don't know how you approach this. Do you have a separate set of medals? But when it become like a participation award?
I'm just about the players who played in the squad that year get a medallion.
Yep. I would have
leave it there.
I would have no issues with the players and the assistant coaches.
Okay. All right.
Because if the assistant coaches, usually there's a mids, forwards, backline coach, and in their case it would have been Bolton, Lepic, and I don't know who the third one was, but that I don't have an issue with that because they're there in their day in, day out doing it with the players, doing it with the coach, pretty much doing more than the coach as well. But
all right, next question.
Yep. Next question that came through was...
Sorry, do you have anything to add to that? Is that you happy with that one?
I'm happy with that one. I think we're being progressive It's not always a great thing, but this one we're a little bit progressive with. Question also came up was, do you think that these prima donnas, and this one's come from Davey Salt, do you think any of these prima donnas will practice goal kicking in the off-season?
Can I go first?
Yep.
I dead set don't know the answer to this question. I don't understand. Do we need to give forwards more time, like back in the 90s, to settle, take their breath? Because they were expecting to. We've spoken about this before.
I've got an idea, and I should know what it is.
Go.
The ball.
Make the ball. Is the ball too pumped up?
Ball is too hard.
So it slides.
Hear me this. So I don't know if anyone's played footy. I don't know if I've told you, but I played 377 games at the East Football Club.
398. I heard you got dropped with 2 games ago because
true.
it's a club thing.
If you ever kick a brand new footy, it hurts your foot.
Doesn't feel good.
It doesn't feel good. It's hard.
The end is hard.
Yep. It also sort of doesn't hold its line. It's really weird. But a football that's been kicked in, when you connect with it, it actually tends to hold more of the surface area across your foot. I know it sounds strange, but
it makes sense to me. Tension across the ball.
There's more surface area being connected to the ball, meaning that
I
you
get
get a wider sweet spot, meaning that you're probably going to kick it straighter as well. And because it's heavier, it's probably going to hold its line a lot more as well too. Because if you have a think about it, you go back and so I think there's some merit with the ball. Okay. The other thing I also think is that these fucking players need to stop doing this bullshit around the corner stuff from 30 meters out and kick a drop punt. Just go back and get a routine and kick drop punts. Keep it simple. We overcomplicate things so much. Go back, kick a drop punt, because you look like a dickhead. Anybody that has a set shot with a drop punt from the boundary and misses, you go, okay, they had a crack. But it's when they do these fancy 45-meter snaps and they don't go anywhere. I'm looking at you, Harry.
Ginnivan. Looking at you, Ginnivan.
The one on the weekend. Like, what's he doing that for, dickhead?
Too far out. 45 out, trying to get around the corner.
Just kick it straight. I'll go back to the classics. Go back to the all-time goal-kicking legends. Buddy, routine. Matthew Lloyd, routine. Plugger, routine. Dunstall, Ablett, all of them had a routine. They never spun the ball in their hands when they were walking in. They didn't have the ball moving every which way but loose. They just held it straight and went back and did their business. That's what they need to do. They just need to simplify what they do.
So put the fingers around the valve, walk it in over your kicking leg and just drop it on your foot.
Fev said it perfectly. He goes, you know what? If you hold the ball properly, you don't even need the left hand there at all. You can just use one hand to kick the ball. And I think it was even Mark Williams said it, who's a Melbourne. He goes, you don't need two hands. He goes, but you can't. Imagine if I was lining up for goal with one hand. I'd look like a complete dickhead. So I put the other one here just to rest it. That's all you need. Guide it and practice keeping it simple. It would just don't be more than it needs to be. It's a simple goal kicking exercise, Jake.
Listen to I think I can't remember the round. I'm pissed off that I can't remember the round, but it was they asked Matthew Lloyd about maybe it was questioning one of the Kings, but Matthew Lloyd broke it down so simply on the Sunday Football Show, and you're just like, fuck, he makes that sound so easy.
You need to have the same routine all the time. All right.
Yeah.
You can't kick off one or two steps and also lean back, and you need to have momentum through the ball.
Get Matthew Lloyd. That's my answer.
Well, just
get Lloydie.
Get Lloydie. Get somebody who knows. And this is I always say this: check your ego in at the door. You know what we're like. We stand in front of people all day, every day, and give them all the greatest knowledge that they can. We check the ego in at the door, and we tell people to do that, and just be vulnerable and learn. And unfortunately, clubs are too. We can't get them in because they're outside, mate. I wouldn't care if it was a complete opposition. If they can make my team better, come on in and make my team better. Isn't that what it's all about? It's a winning game, and anything you can do to make your team better, you need to do that.
All right. Good question. Next one.
Next question.
Question or comments, Peps?
Craigie Jones has put one here. I don't know what he means, but maybe you could go with it, being a Port Adelaide spot. I think the AFL needs to be rebalanced to remove the Victorian bias.
Like it.
Okay, what do they mean by that, please?
It's basically saying that since the since the West Coast Sydney double up, there has been a lot of Victorian teams that have won the premiership since then.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
that's all. There's a bit of a conspiracy out there for non-Vic teams that this seems to be a bit of a bias. That's it.
I'm just throwing it out there. Maybe the other ones are shit. Well, how can it be Victorian bias when Sydney beats
the scheduling? I think it's the scheduling. It's the trying to get teams that to get into those positions.
But they play 11 home games a year.
Peps, you don't have to get upset about it.
Oh, I'm not getting upset about it, but don't give me well, you know what? You want to be part of a national competition? That's your right. No one complains when they win. They always complain. Melbourne had to go and play in Perth for a grand final.
Technically, Melbourne haven't won it. And also,
yep.
As a Port Adelaide supporter and as a non-Victorian supporting team,
yep.
Can we drop the 16 premiership club talk?
Why is that?
Because if we're talking about Carlton, Essendon and Collingwood winning 16 premierships, surely Port Adelaide's 38 in the Sandford count?
No, because that's a completely different competition.
So is the VFL.
No, it's not.
Oh, so the VFL is the AFL.
Well, if you go...
So there is a bias.
No, what I'm saying is the VFL turned into the AFL, but they had the same amount of clubs in them.
AFL is AFL. It's a football league.
They just renamed it from the VFL to the AFL.
Well done, Collingwood, on your third premiership or second premiership.
Don't be a dick. You played in the Sandful, all right? So if you want to go back to the Sandful and maybe get to a grand final, stay there, all right?
Hey, I'm just saying, Port Adelaide has won as many premierships as Melbourne has.
4 years apart as much as you want. No, we haven't. We've got 13. Bugger off. All right. Hey, look, before we wrap this bad boy up for the year...
hey, hang on.
Oh, sorry.
You have not even spoke about the biggest controversy of the whole weekend.
Oh, the advantage.
Yes.
What a crock of shit.
Emotional, damn it.
That's not the one I wanted.
That'll do.
Do not speak to me like that.
What a farce. Now, I will say one thing. We can hear it on a microphone. You stand in the middle of 100,000 people going off their nuts. You're not going to hear that.
Correct.
That was not an advantage at all. That wasn't an advantage. Now, if anybody did say that cost Brisbane, it didn't cost Brisbane because they still had to kick a goal from that. It robbed them of an opportunity to do so.
Yes, I agree.
But there's no excuse that the AFL could come out and say, well, they got that decision right. It was like we were all sitting there, and I was there with my mate's wife, and she's an absolute ripper. And she's got, that's not advantage. Now, when your wives are throwing that one out, and she knows a lot about footy, you know it's not right. Even my superstar wife, Relzy, legend, said that wasn't an advantage. It wasn't an advantage.
It wasn't, and it's been a bit of a PR disaster this week in the AFL umpires room. We had the Brownlow controversy, then to roll into that controversy.
Oh, should we go one more? Oh, don't play Ray Chamberlain because he can't bounce. First bounce of the grand final, skew if. Like, what? You got one job, champ. One job.
Oh dear, made me laugh.
Like getting your car tuned up for the entire year for Bathurst and smashing on the first corner.
I cannot believe you almost spent a whole show of that talking about it. I thought that'd have been your first thing.
It was going to be, and then I got distracted as I normally would do. Squirrel! That was shit, Jamie. That was shit. Even your Bubs is going on about it as well.
Yeah, not happy. Although I'm in a Collingwood household here, so it's not like it's...
Yeah, how was that, by the way?
It was all right. I mean, look, good on... I don't mind teams winning premierships. It's good to see them win. It's good to see your team win. It's good to see other teams win. I don't give a shit, really. I used to be... it used to be one thing that I'd care about, like which team won. I don't care. As long as the grand final's not over by half time or over by quarter time in Port Adelaide's case.
I like Essendon being in suffrage.
Come on, Peps.
I like Carlton supporters getting all their hopes up and getting it pulled away. I love a bit of that.
No, I don't mind. I don't mind.
Your team's been shit for so many years. You've got to celebrate when other ones are shit in their circumstance.
Correct.
Can I also say, though, I want to go through just a couple of my highlights for the year.
Sure.
First and foremost, I have to give the Blake Acres goal, like the monster roost after the Sirens to win the game. That was just like immense. That should have been goal of the year. Full stop. What a long ball. How Sydney made the grand final on 2 errors. I made the finals on 2 errors.
Yep.
One being an interchange by the other club, and the other one where a player kicked a goal, but they called it a point.
Brilliant.
No good whatsoever. Low light was seeing Will Ashcroft go down with a knee.
Yes.
Seeing my team go out cornucova. They didn't just go Sam Stozer. They did the double Sam Stozer, a.k.a. the cornucova. Straight sets 2 years in a row. Just
watch this space on Melbourne. I've got some hot news.
Ooh, interesting.
I'll share offline with you. I won't share it on here.
All right. Oh, well, why not?
I'll go with it. I'll send you a text after.
All right. No, just tell me after we finish the show. But I think the quality of football this year was a lot more attacking, and I think we're going to see that in 2024 a lot more attacking as well. I hope they do something with the stand rule. I hope they do something with the umpires nominating a ruckman rule. I think there's some tweaking that needs to be done because and the protected zone, do something about that. If they can get those 3 things worked out, I think the game's going to be in a pretty good stance moving forward.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, funny enough, Donna J. I don't mind as long as it's not Collingwood. And then she wrote, at least your team's made it. Coming from a person who won 3 out of 4. You know, beggars can't be choosers.
All right. So my highlight, my low light.
Yep.
Easy. Okay. So my low light was leaving the show for about 6 or 7 weeks.
Yep.
I missed you all immensely, but we just couldn't make it work at that time.
Yep.
Highlight was coming back and seeing your beautiful faces. And look, we may renew the show. We may not. We'll see what happens in the off season with our AGM. It could get wild. But if we don't see you next year, it's been a blast. I've loved every minute of it this year with you, Peps. And if we are back on next year, then we look forward to seeing more and more change. You start to see some of the change we're bringing in. Peps has been immense on the YouTubes. Our subscriber numbers are getting there. Please add more, refer, add more, subscribe, bell, notification, all of that, because the more that actually subscribe to us, the better the content can be. Like it's a bit of a caterpillar that feeds itself. We sort of need that. We need, like the human centipede. Yeah.
Strap yourselves on, people.
We kind of need you to subscribe, so then it unlocks some features for us.
You join. If you join it, we will come. Simple as
yes,
that. So.
Pretty much. All right, so a quick one there. Tom has put in a thing about numbers and stuff. It's Monday night.
Tom, mate.
It's a big one. I get it. There's a lot going on.
Conversation about this online anyway, so we're going to be having our special about the trades.
Trelaw, you better be back. Trelaw going to Suns. Oh, okay. Geez, Tom's coming with the hot stuff. Yeah. Tom, you have both of our numbers. Just text us this stuff.
Well, just save it until we do our trade shows.
We do actually respond back to people's private messages. Believe it or not, either or I will get back to you.
Oh, it's a preview to next week. We're not on next week, Tom. It's our last show for the year in this format.
Maybe you guys do your draft show after the year.
Show. We might do it the week after next, once everything sort of gets to the nitty-gritty. Yes, the week after next. That's exactly right.
All right.
What else?
No, that's it. I'm happy to close the show. I got a kid just crying.
Cool. Well, I'm going to wrap this bad boy up. I want to thank everybody who's joined with us. Like 6 years we've been doing this. Like this is how awesome. We don't do it because we have to. We do it because we want to, because we get to see the magnificent people joining us every single week. This country, overseas. If you're in another country and you've been listening to us, thank you very much. Everybody who's been on the YouTube channel just giving us takes a bit of time to pull that stuff together, but we enjoy it. And if you've got any ideas on what you would like for us to see, we will do so. Jamie, we missed you for 6 weeks. I can hear your kids going nuts in the background, and I'm going to wrap this up. But I do this show because I get to speak to you every week. You're a brother from another mother. You're an absolute superstar. You are a fantastic father, and there's no one else I would do this show with except Tommy Roker and Charlie Keegan, and all my support crew that helped whilst you were away as well too. So thank you very much, because like I said, I might be the heart of the show, but you're definitely the soul, and we have to have both to make this thing work too. So thank you to you. Thank you to everybody. I want to be bigger and better next year, and fingers crossed we will be. But before we wrap this one up, for the last time in our last ever segment for 2023, I'm going to hand it over to the new dad, the absolute superstar, the co-host with the most, the man with the sexy mo, Jamie the J-Dog Wallis, for this week's and final fan tale.
Rightio, footy tales, here we go.
Footy tales, it's going to stick, mate. It's going to stick.
I know. Who makes these things? Is it Allen's? Allen's. All right. I might send him an email. Okay. Who am I?
Sexy.
Oh, this one might be a bit... Oh, no, it's pretty easy in the middle. All right.
Don't read that part out then.
Born in Kentucky in 1961, he moved to LA in 1982 for acting. He achieved stardom.
That's good.
In 2013, he broke his own box office record, and that's it. The rest will give it away, Peps. So he was born in 1961, moved across to LA in 1982 for acting.
Oh, I know who that is.
In 2013, he broke his own box office record with another movie.
Oh,
and
I know
he is also involved in advertisements for a very prominent brand.
Oh, I know who that is. Seabiscuit. Colonel Sanders. It was Grimace. Hey, listeners, J-Dog's absolute little champ is screaming. So we're going to wrap this one up. Thank you, everybody, for a magnificent year. Like I said, we do it because we love you. Have a great Christmas. Have a great New Year. Don't go too hard on Mad Monday. More importantly, 2024 is a new year. We should be back. And I'm going to be out of a job in the end of December. So if you need any training specialists, come and speak to me. I'll give you my day rate, and we can go from there. Have a fantastic, fantastic year. I'm Chris Pepper, and for the last time ever, Jamie with a J-Dog Wallis. Jamie with a J-Dog Wallis. How do you want your football, big fella?
I want to lace out.
Have a great weekend, listeners. Thank you for a fantastic season.
See you, listeners, in 2024.
Yeah! Thanks for listening to our latest episode. If you haven't done so already, make sure to subscribe, rate, and leave a review on iTunes. I'm your host, Chris Pepper, and with Jamie Wallis, we give you your footy how you want it. Peace out.